Okay, I am filming this right after the Henjin video, just because I felt like it. This is going to be just me kind of talking about myself. These are going to be my goals for 2023 for how I dress. So first thing I did this year, I kind of wrote down everything that I liked in terms of clothing. A lot of it was sensory because I'm a big sensory person, being autistic. Talking about that, and then as well as what I wanted to, like the vibes I wanted to give off. So things I like big shapes. I like clothes that don't fit me at all, pants that don't fit, shirts that don't fit. I want to cover myself as much as possible. Partially dysphoria, and also partially sensory things again. I like being covered, but I also like this is gonna be weird, but like kind of the concealing something underneath. So like that one meme of that guy in the business wear, and then in the back mirror you can see that he has lingerie on, that type of vibe. I don't like for my clothes to make a lot of noise. I was just thinking about this the other day because I was wearing a jacket, and like the material is like it's like a windbreaker, and it makes a lot of noise when I walk. I hate that. But I do like when my shoes make a lot of noise. I like being able to stomp around places. It's just like a more satisfying kind of tactile sound. I like warmth. I like being warm. I'm a very cold person, and I would rather be sweaty than freezing. I like androgyny, embracing femininity in ways that kind of contradict masculinity. The way that I mean that is like I said about undergarments earlier, and also with buying like masculine women's clothing. Like I prefer a boyfriend jean to a men's, like actual men's jean, is what I mean. And then like masculine like women's shoes, I prefer to like actual men's shoes, or I prefer feminine men's shoes. I like height. I like a platform. I think all of my shoes should be platforms, but I don't know, I'm not a really big like demonia or the platform docs person. Not that type of platform, but like kind of like a platform that doesn't look like a platform. But I'm already like average height, so I want to be tall. I want to reject Western sentiments about professionalism. Being black in the United States, no sagging your pants, no do-rags, no bonnets. I hate that you have to go to like a office job dressed a certain way. And I hate that sentiment, and I hate that idea, because it's just white supremacy. Persevering, I'm not getting into that. I like traditionally like black clothing. I was talking about shapes, actually. You know, like I said about sagging pants, specifically in the 90s, like the really oversized clothing, I like that. A lot of people tell me that I look scary, and to be honest, at this point, I don't know if it's like the transphobia or the racism, and I think it's both, but I want to kind of like lean into that more. Like, if people think I look scary because I don't talk, or it's ableism. It might be ableism. I'm gonna take advantage of my resting bitch face if I can. But I want people who understand the way I'm dressing, I want them to see me and be like, oh. So like exuding scary dog privilege to people who don't understand the way I dress and why the way I dress that I do, and kind of like exuding like a softness to people that do, because I'm not like an intense person. I like the kind of just I threw on whatever was on my floor look, but I want everything to be intentional, and I want to invoke like animals and nature with the way that I dress. My goals this year: become way more intentional with the way I dress, kind of treating myself more like an avatar, kind of putting out a vibe for the day. I'm saying vibe a lot, setting a tone for how I'm dressed that day. Like, okay, maybe I'm leaning into kind of like the skater kind of look today, or maybe I'm leaning more into towards like post-apocalyptic kind of vibe today. I don't want to just like throw on my clothes and then like not like the way that I dress the whole day, because it makes me feel awful. Leaning more heavily into themes of GNC, the hatred of Western professionalism again, and then kind of referencing the history of labor and blackness in the United States, with my inspirations coming from workwear. And that's going to be like, you know, obviously in the US with black people, there was that big thing that happened, and I kind of like that idea of referencing it in my clothing with workwear. And then Crow Tribe, I really like for the reasons I mentioned above. And then, of course, the 90s hip-hop styles. I also want to get into crochet or knitting this year. I think knitting. So I don't think I like crochet that much. No offense to the crocheters out there. I also want to get more piercings, just cause. But I want to get like really small ear piercings. A bunch of them. So I think I'm just gonna like do that at home. We'll see how that turns out. Yeah, so that was it. I'm gonna be doing a lot of research this year on workwear and Crow Tribe and 90s hip-hop styles, just so I can be doing it like in an authentic way, because I don't want to be like, you know, just wearing something just to wear it. Like, I want to have intentionality with the way that I dress, and not adopting things without knowing the history of them. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Goodbye.